one access code talker, if we can then next to it just clean up the field a little bit in terms of monsters, might be enough.
Hola, hola, buenos días, tardes,
Or
noches, madrugadas,
just
sea lo
get
que sea,
one big
donde
red
sea
ransom
y cuando
onto
sea
the
que
field
termine
and then
esto,
attack over something else.
bienvenidos una vez
May
más
also be the
a
writing on the wall.
una transmisión.
We shall see Kinoko. You see Kinoko is
Después
really
de
shaking his
un
head,
tiempo,
and Goyoku is just laughing.
como mencioné en las publicaciones hace unos días, en estos en estos días está llevándose a cabo el Mundial de Yu-Gi-Oh! En Francia. Es tanto el TCG como Duel Links y... ¿cómo se llama eso? Rushzone, creo. Y Master Duel, obviamente, que es el que más me interesa. Y entonces, me interesa estarlo transmitiendo, sobre todo a la final de que quiero transmitir, solamente que empiezan en la madrugada. Me di cuenta de eso ya hasta después, de que está en la madrugada como el evento en general. Y ahorita voy viendo que está la transmisión del evento. Tengo tiempo hoy, ahorita, tengo chance de transmitirle, entonces fue como de, a ver, porque están justamente los del equipo de Europa, los Snipe Hunters, que es el equipo que ganó el primer mundial de hacerlo. Hey, hello gamers, everyone. Welcome to the stream. How have you been, man? Yeah, good morning, good morning.
Ooh, but there's our very own GWC. And one thing also that Kinokoko will have to remember, Lingo Rebo can counter the GWC if it's summoned at the right time. So I feel like
it seems that
one Melis monster around,
Snipe Hunters have lost
the Lingo Rebo
two duels
somehow
already.
and maybe just preemptively activate the GWC. We shall find out. We shall see.
I think I can see a line depending on how much information they have about the deck of Kinokoko.
So
right?
I'm not sure about how
you just summon out the Chessy Cat now.
is this working. Like,
too, I think.
if they win here, is there an opportunity for them to go to the next round or something?
Supposedly, think you can just go for a Dormouse, banish the Chessy Cat now with this, right? And then go into a Linguribo sneakily, having the Chessy Cat.
Like normal, I mean, okay, like not too shabby.
Linguribo plus doing an access code talker.
And now we continue with the Chessy Cat trying to find even more cards.
I've been
and
putting so much gems into the Malice pack. Like 20,000 gems, something like that. Just because I want the Royal Rare Red Ransom and White Binder. And I have not gotten even one of them.
To carry, it is on Quanto's shoulders to make it happen, and that's also why this is the last game remaining here in this first set in the very determining round 5 of this round robin.
There is the access code talker with enough attack to punch over anything here, and almost enough to finish the game by itself. Still needs something
it's
though.
not GWC.
Okay, that changes things up a little bit. Called by the grave. We cannot prevent the attack gain from the access code talker, but of course we can at least take out one of the attributes from the graveyard so that the distraction is a little less painful.
I mean, I think you have more than enough darks in the graveyard, or we're going for a Linguribo here. What I can see exactly is Linguribo, and then you're linking those two off now for a Splash Mage, because Splash Mage is water. Yep. Summon back something, go into a possible White Binder there, and then get ready to destroy some more cards, even though, yes, very easy way to deal 3,500 damage.
Okay, that's nice.
Nice. To deal more damage.
That absolutely is true, and we go in Ling free. Is that going to be?
That deck is going to be even better when we have Mitsuru in the
Rare White Binder. You may as well summon it. Oh, now the X
you have the Dormouse attack boost.
Oh, wait. Oh, now the
you have the Dormouse attack boost. You actually deal some damage if you attack over Red Ransom or the White Binder. You deal 600, and then the access code talker attacks over the other one for enough damage.
Yes. You're so right. I think we are just actually in the position where we can end this. This turn, though, taking Oh, very long time. So we shall see whether the in-game timer of Quantal even is able to still carry us through his turn. Another access code talker effect is being used here.
Okay.
Oh, you're so right. We have not seen a whole lot of the Biru overall.
Destroying the 2300 is interesting because you could have closed out the game by just attacking had you kept both alive.
Yeah, we're missing out on game here, right? If we don't have another monster to summon here.
We get another trap card though with the White Binder, and I mean that's an easy choice. We just gotta get the MTP, but yeah, the White Binder has not yet returned, right? I don't think it has.
Yeah, we just summoned it so we can just attack over here.
Okay, there we go.
And I think that's an easy way to close out this game. Now we are in the battle phase, so there's no being coming your way anymore. And Quantal will now look
Esa carta que le mencionaban en el canal permite remover una carta del oponente convocando todo el mismo tipo de monstruos. Y aquí los dejas simplemente para tener otro cuerpo y atacar. Interesante forma de usarlo.
Snipe Hunters dreams alive for one more year.
But the Onomat cards are not in, like the most recent ones are not yet in the game, right?
They have managed to not get completely sweep there in this first game.
So maybe, like knowing Konami, maybe when they put it into the game, they will probably make everything like ultra rare or something.
Sweep by FCG, meaning they are out of the tournament. Team 7 is
like
no longer in.
Knowing that it's support for Rysil basically,
and it was all over.
So
they will try to make the most money of it.
The story is over. It was a great run of Team 7 so far, but also we have plenty of other matches. This is the hot round. This is where it's going to be decided who is going to advance to Day 2. And I think that in the match, Noble Gabagul versus Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Ragnarok's actually leading right now.
Between FCG and Alignment, these teams that have struggled so much throughout the day have suddenly decided to show up massively
that's what's all
in
about.
round 5.
Yes, they kept sharp until the very end, and they now have this even able to beat. Yes, they kept sharp until the very end, and they now have this even able to beat the very best. Because they probably like the news of having Team 7 out of the equation, because now Team 7
probably don't know
If I remember correctly, Quantal was the one using menos in the last difficult, being able to qualify for World.
Exactly, when we are in the next round,
So,
we're also going to check
I was wondering which
the
deck
reminders.
was he going to use, and now we can see that he was using Malice instead of Mail. So I wonder which decks are the other two using now. Emerald probably is using Rysil, but Jones, I wonder what deck is using
if Snipe
Jones.
Hunter wants to win. I mean, they could get swept now, and then it's a 5-1 victory.
Maybe we
but
can check
if Snipe Hunter
the
wins, they will always have to go to
shield.
the third set to do so.
Also
Later.
very much contingent on the performance of Ragnarok and Noble Gabig Gol. This group is the one that is so close between all of these teams.
It is very much so. You can't really tell just yet.
Lo que estaba diciendo es que Quantal fue el que calificó al equipo de Snipe Hunters para el mundial usando el deck. Aquí va. Utilizando el deck. ¿Qué pasa? Utilizando el deck Mermeo. Atlantan Mermeo. Entonces estaba en duda de qué deck iba a usar, pero está usando Malice en vez de Mermeo. O quién sabe si está utilizando los dos. Vamos a ver aquí qué deck está usando cada uno.
Oh, and we have a classic pass here. Not like this. Josh shaking his hand. Has to completely give up there by just not using a single card. You can tell if you look at the face cam from
just
He
briqueó.
could use before the loss, but there even is Ash Blossom at Shore Spring, and there's the second
Okay.
loss right after. Can this one
Para
resolve at least?
This is gonna be a gamma. I'm telling
Okay,
you.
this one resolves. Oh, and we see a
I
Skull
don't see any
Guardian
white
there
forest
on
yet, huh?
Dual B. So
I don't know.
another edition of
I
Voiceless Voice
just
at the
started
World
watching,
Championship here, and
so
then this
I don't know
component
what they are
of
using.
Wandel there. So we have that again as we enter.
I don't know
the second round.
what
Usually, if
anyone
you're
is
playing Malice
using.
versus a voiceless voice, if you are playing on ladder in a ranked game, you're gonna go, okay, well, I think I can beat this Enfield probably with my Malice.
Right
That's
now,
so
I'm
powerful. There's still two unknown
seeing
cards
Raziel,
and
Malice,
in this particular
Voiceless
format,
Voice.
there's a high chance that one of those is Lancea,
Briquean.
Hunter, or Imperial Iron.
We are almost at the 8,000 threshold with Ryziel main deck
Oh,
main deck monsters.
Snipe Hunters so far. Snipe Hunters so far.
It absolutely is. You're so right, but maybe they can still come back.
probablemente estamos teniendo dificultades con el stream por tantas personas que están viéndolo. Como que le satura la red
We are more than clearly
a los de
working
Konami.
towards 8,000 points of damage, getting another material
Pero vamos a ver,
there
vamos a
onto
ver.
the Ryziel
Podemos
detonator,
continuar.
and having the
De momento no se ve muy bien
That's
para
always
ellos.
some quick math. I can count to 35.
Están haciendo full
49.
combo.
Oh, we're missing 100. Oh, but look
Okay.
at
Ahí le van a
that.
poder
That
hacer
is the
directamente todo el daño
Sakitama
necesario y
there,
listo.
which is going to make sure that this is a little over 8,000 points.
La
of
única
damage.
forma de que
Just
pudiera
interesting card to
defenderse
play
es
Gano.
combinando
Yeah,
Nibiru
should be a
con
clean
Permanence o Veiler o algo así.
Out here, really phenomenally well played here. Honestly, not much Josh could do. Granted, the two Fua loss were kind of
No,
useful,
y ni aún así
but
porque
not
tiene
here.
la magia
Gun
que
first
niega al
to
monstruo.
those really
Uf.
tragic for the former captain of Team Snipe Hunters, but it's not over yet for them. Quantal, Emre still in the game, even if they are going second. Emre
Da dudas, pero
definitely
bueno,
has a way of playing and going second. If
a
he's
very,
got
very
that
hard
10
loss
high Dragon
for
Sky Striker deck.
Josh.
I mean, Ryziel is not too shabby.
No Nibiru
either.
yet.
Oh, we're going to see
And but
Quantal
even
called by the Grave
if Josh
on
had
to
Nibiru,
the Maxi chain, his own
the
Maxi, very,
spill
very
spell
strong
for
here, of course, Voiceless Voice can
the
also summon the opposing turret,
the
forcing
field
out
spell
the Dynamondo
for Ryziel
immediately there. So for
can
Quantal,
negate it.
very interesting what's going on there. Amber, if he's playing
This is
Ryziel,
yeah.
oh, look at this. There's like a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
field on the opposing side, and Emre even used a hand trap there, so didn't help him at all. It's the strongest games of Malice is when your opponent actually uses hand traps versus you, and they are just not effective versus you. They
Continuing
just-
to just replenish the hand as well.
So the only way that
hand
Josh
is good. Every
could have
deck
been
looks
able
good
to
for
survive
him
there
right
is
now,
having
but Emre, we've
two
seen the
monsters that can be
10 high
special
Dragon
summoned,
Sky
like
Striker build, be able to make a
maybe
comeback before. Can we
something
see
like
again
Druid
Sam
Storm,
Montes playing the Atlantean
plus Nibiru, and
Mermaid that qualified him for
then
the World Championship. Can
then
he do something
Impermanence.
with it this time
I
around?
like
This
it.
deck
Or
has
Veiler.
not been successful so far today, but this could be the chance.
So it
This
was
could
very,
be
very
the
difficult
game
for
we
him
need
to
see it. It's
to
the
win there, or
clutch
to be able to
factor
survive
of
even.
bringing it out in the deciding such a valuable win for Snipe Hunters.
It is, of course, also clearly a decision to play around the anti-malice deck of
Yeah.
his opponent.
Es algo que no me gusta del
Was
deck
correctly
Ryziel
anticipating
o de las
that there
personas
would
que
be an
apoyan
anti-malice
mucho el deck,
waiting on the opposing side,
que
waiting
se
in
quejan
the
mucho de Apollousa,
lineup
pero no se dan
of
cuenta que la
Arata
carta
there, and
de
that
campo
is
es
the
básicamente
case.
lo mismo. Ahí
Anti-Mermaid
la única forma de que
also
Josh
affected by that.
fuera
Evis Ryan is now discarding
posible que sobreviviera es usando
and Evis Ryan is going to
dos
make it
monstruos,
anyways, but still,
tipo un
that's what
Visceral
you want
más
to have,
Nibiru,
right?
más
There's
alguna
an
carta que
Leptos
negara
will
el
immediately be
detonator.
popped here by the trap card
O Veiler
of the
o
Voiceless
Impermanence.
Voice
Radiance of the
archetype.
Voiceless
It is
Voice
Radiance.
coming
Tendría
in.
que usar
Voiceless Voice
Impermanence
going to
para el
make
detonator,
a
luego
front end to the
pescar el efecto de la
approaching
carta de magia
combo as
con
it is
el
gone
Bestial
there.
y
So
luego
Quantal has
usar el
another
Nibiru.
prince. Is Quantal the prince of the ocean? Is he the Atlantean prince that can still keep this going? Looks like there is no further interruption from Arata.
We know he
resolving.
ministrilled. He ministrilled earlier. He knows there is not even a Soravis in hand. I don't think that is any sort of interruption there.
Okay, this is the deck
Never
that I
seen a
thought
Mermaid deck uninterrupted. You
Quantal
know that
was
it
going
would
to
win
use.
And last year, we
The
saw
Mermaid deck.
Quantal lose to
And
a comeback from Maguro off of
we also have
single
Emre, I
card.
think,
This time it's one single
playing down down left.
Standing against the voiceless voice field, and yet it is that Neptibus that's now resolving, that's now making things happen for Snipe Hunters.
Not so quick though. When we know what is the last card in hand? Is it the ritual monster which we
Really,
can
yeah.
possibly summon out on the opponent's turn due to blessings? Or it's not a ritual monster.
We
Okay, that's
banished the
perfect.
Soravas.
That's great. Okay, so we should be somewhat safe. We cannot target the Skull Guardian right now. But now that we give back the continuous spell there to the hand, it is much easier because now targeting is again allowed.
Yes, you can get rid of the low, the prayers of the voiceless voice, and eventually also the Skull Guardian will follow. Skull Guardian used the negation for the turn, so significantly less useful, but also once you deal with that, you can then swing for game and just continue to explode this in your favor. Quantal clutching it out for Snipe Hunters here, continuing with the combos. Atlantean Mermail wasn't good so far today, but now is the time to shine.
Shadow Squad going up to level 7. We're setting up big Exceeds plays here with Poseidra or the big Neptibus. Discarding Dragoons for it is per cost, so you're going to add another.
I think
season.
Emre is playing Ryzen down left.
Another Sea Serpent. We have had one Prince. We've had two Prince. Another Sea Serpent. We have had one Prince. We've had two Prince. Might as well that one out. Are we going to see a big Neptibus here?
Of course, we're going to go for Poseidra, I would assume. And there we have it. Poseidra base, the Atlantean Dragon Lord, is of course the extra deck variant of Poseidra. We saw the main deck one coming with a special.
I think that the first team that reaches 5 wins is the one that gets to the next stage, right?
The finishing pieces of the deck, and as long as the deck is allowed to get to this stage of the combo, it's basically
So to be able
doing fantastic
to have a chance to get to the next round, they need to win these two.
In this tournament, bounces back to the hand, clears the field, and gets ready to unleash this Atlantean Mermail.
Yep, and now a Meowth is being dropped after the entire field is gone there. That was the last card in hand, Molchami Meowth, that you can, of course, leave there. That is absolutely massive information here. We have the Soravas now from the deck, but the Maxi that was activated earlier in the turn, chained to the own called by to a Maxi, draws another card now. So Quantal can continue to play. We're going to draws another card now, so Quantal can continue to play. We're going to so Quantal can continue to play. We're going to link those two monsters off. The Soravas is of course an interruption itself by bouncing itself back to the hand.
Okay, this revolves.
Monster, as far as I'm aware.
The Marincess Coral Anemone now just going to extend further for Quantal. It's still looking pretty good for him here on that Mermail Atlantean deck.
You could negate the summon though, because that is what Soravas does. You can negate the summon of a monster, and that is what we're going to do. That Coral would have led to quite a bit. Still though, the effect of Poseidra in the graveyard as it was linked off can be activated, and surely we do, and we may not have the Coral Anemone anymore, but guess what? The water is still flowing. Mermails are still going strong, and we're not only going to summon back 1, but 2, and not only 2.
Emre is having a very difficult time because he's going against Malice. And it seems that it's Malice's turn, so he's basically done.
Go. The Atlantean Mermail deck does not Quantal does not stop.
Maybe it's Emre's turn, but the opponent used Call of Soul because he linked into Firewall Dragon. Yes, but Emre is still playing.
He may have lost on the first set there against Quantal, but we see again he has a massive field.
Ok, se ve que Emre está yendo contra un deck Malice, él está usando Ryzen y el oponente hizo una conversión Link durante el turno de Emre, entonces necesitaba estar usando Call of Soul, que es una carta que yo mencioné en mi video sobre la versión de Malice que yo usé para llegar a Master. Que es muy buena como extender y justamente como interrupción durante el turno del oponente. Y parece que Emre va a perder.
It looks good. There is the Synchro Summon. Looking into the extra deck for an option here. It's a 4 and a 3. It's a 7, and it is the Deep Sea Prima Donna.
And that will be answered with Artifact Lancea. We said that this voices
Emre
is
just
an anti-malice
lost.
strategy, so it only makes sense that there is a Lancea.
So everything
Now,
depends
Druid
on
with Renewal Charming
Quanta.
Meows, and that is actually not too bad against the Prima Donna. Actually, it works pretty well against it even.
Emre acaba de perder, entonces todo depende de este Quantal, de poder sobrevivir, de poder quedarse todavía para el siguiente match.
Yeah.
Pero la llevan muy mal.
Back to school for you, Ibris. Doing math classes again, but I'm sure Quantal is good on his own math.
Porque el equipo rojo ya nada más necesita una victoria para ganar el match.
Still not just enough, but we can of course continue to bring back more monsters from the graveyard, but that will also be leading to
Ya tienen 4 de las 5 estrellas, 4 de las 5 victorias necesarias para ganar como tal.
What are you realistically drawing into here? If this is your anti-malice deck, I don't think you have Nibiru the Primal Being in your hand. Maximum.
Podría ser que veamos aquí que ya no pasa el equipo que ganó el primer mundial.
To be fair, though, the Chaos Hunter could at least buy you a turn, right?
One more synchro summon here.
Por esto es que me interesaba ver este mundial porque hay tantos equipos buenos que no es como seguro decir, pues van a ganar estos porque ganaron el primer mundial o el segundo, lo que sea.
We see Quantal not only in the first set, but also here in the second set, keeping the hopes alive for
Quantal has been the only one that has won one duel in the first set and in the second set. Both Emre and Joss have lost their matches, their duels.
That keeps them in this one. Need 3 victories convincingly in this last set.
And I want to say the group is just getting closer and closer because the dominant force, Noble Gabigo, they just got 8-1 swept by Ragnarok. That was such a 5-1 sweet victory from Ragnarok.
That's the reason why I wanted to see this event.
So the field is just so much
because
more wide
there are so many teams that seem strong.
Does look very dangerous because now they have that.
But I wonder who is going to win this world.
That definitely opens the door a little bit for Team Snipe Hunters if they are finally able to.
Like I've seen Joss having duels on the stream, and I don't know, man. It seems like he lost his spark.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, in that match,
Like
they're also still just absolutely trying to make sure to qualify. And
does very strange things with his deck, and then the decisions he takes sometimes are a little questionable. When duels, I don't know.
Can't make it out regardless.
Have we drawn additional trap cards? We just go into the battle phase. Fair enough. 3,000 attack points is plenty of damage to put onto the life points of Josh here. So life points wise, we're almost even again.
Yep, wondering if this was another hand disruption draw. No.
Okay, we continue with the stream. I just had some problems with the PC, but we are on again. Tuvieron unos problemas con la compu, entonces necesité checar esa cuestión, pero ya estamos de vuelta. Por esta razón es por la que no he continuado con los streams tan seguido últimamente, sobre todo de Master Duel, que de repente me dan estas cuestiones con la compu.
And now you can set the big welcome and force for the next turn. But there is Droplet.
Hold on, okay.
Okay, Joss is using Memento.
This is a card that you might want to have in your graveyard right there. I assume the other card is also... No, this shouldn't be a Droplet. Which other card? I think he drew Droplet.
That was very
another play. Unless you have another multi-charm that you can normal summon and then activate...
Like that was the deck that was more often used for Joss.
We just drew one of our powerful starters. Maybe a Dark Blade, maybe an Anguage.
But would we not set the Droplet if we had it in hand already? I think the Forbidden Droplet might
So, Snipe Hunters needs to win every duel now. Snipe Hunters necesita ganar todos sus duelos en este momento para que sea posible que pueda
as the fusion enables us plays
ganar,
here.
pueda llegar al siguiente.
This is absolutely crazy. What are we even searching a bone party for next turn? You just need to find something to play with. Josh is setting up.
Pero
the lady is again at 3,000.
Josh no tiene nada en su campo.
Basically need
Tiene 5,000 puntos solamente.
The other side there. This
El oponente tiene 3 cartas.
3,000 damage again. Josh is going to get another top deck here.
A ver, al menos tiene un turno más Josh, pero no se ve muy bien para él.
Yeah, true.
We will find it. I mean, the bone party on its own doesn't even do anything. We will need a memento monster next to it, and that is required as a draw for turn. Josh, is there a play? Can you keep it competitive? We go into the battle phase.
Pase de batalla? What?
But how does this help in this situation? Because his opponent knows exactly every single card there. If this isn't evenly matched, you just say okay. Well, Josh is smiling, setting a monster there, possibly trying to force out some interaction with a bluffed, evenly matched there. Sets the monster. No bone party. This is another Ash Blossom.
That's hard, man.
It is something for sure, but it's not helping at this point.
Josh has not had any good duel
considering to do something. How's it looking on the other tables?
In this picture match.
From Emerald was just mad with Ash Blossom, but the field from Emerald on Duel A is already pretty decent.
Quite good in A
so
and C,
it is alright. I think we are okay with that Maxi not resolving. It's always a good feeling to resolve Maxi on top of a combo, but it's not necessarily required to win the game.
I mean, also you have Ryziel Cross, right? If your Maxi gets Ash Blossom, I think you use the Cross, no?
I agree, yeah. Should be. And let me tell you something, while Snipe Hunters are really fighting to
Quantal está usando Malice, el oponente está usando Ryziel, mientras que Ember está usando Ryziel, el oponente no sé bien qué está usando, no veo algo en su campo que lo delate.
There it is. Absolute madness.
I think that is the correct way to end this game, possibly. Activating Daruma Karma Cannon. Only having one monster yourself, knowing your opponent cannot chain anything to it, setting up the big welcome Labyrinth. You only need to deal 2,000 damage. Just flip up that Lady Labyrinth, go into the battle phase, and if this is not something completely out of pocket, like a Penguin Soldier, then you should have the game here.
Penguin Soldier would be iconic. I'm sort of doubting it though. We do go for the big welcome Labyrinth, and we are.
Parece que ya perdieron los Snipe Hunters. Simplemente con que pierda Josh, ya perdieron su chance de avanzar.
Labyrinth deck for the very last game as well, and that could be their way of closing.
A menos que tengan algún tipo de segunda ronda para compensar puntos o algo, pero no se ve nada bien para el equipo de ellos.
Looking at it, it seems like Enzo is right now in the process of closing it out for Chiba Corp. So we actually may not only lose Team 7, and we're in the process of losing Team Snipe Hunters here as well, but we could also just be losing Dream's Future on top of that.
An all new top.
Team 7, acaban de mencionar Team 7, el equipo de Jesse Cotton también está por perder, también está posible de que no llegue al siguiente día. Esto sería un gran golpe, un gran cambio, el hecho de que ninguno de los dos equipos campeones anteriores siquiera llega al siguiente día. Ya no hablamos de la final, simplemente al siguiente día.
And before we go into the post-analysis of this match, I want to say that if Cybercop wins 5-4, and my math is not completely incorrect, we're going to the next tiebreaker between the Noble Gabigol versus Cybercop, because they have the exact same tie when it comes to wins. Let me count. 8 plus 4 are 12, 17, 18, 23. Okay, and now for Cybercop.
Realmente acabamos de ver cómo el primer campeón mundial no pasa al siguiente día.
22, 23.
Y ahorita están viendo los puntajes de los otros equipos para estar desempate.
That's why I did it. So this is going to the next tiebreaker there. That's crazy.
It actually is complete intensity, and you might be right, Leo. I think Chiba Corp might in the end be able to clinch this one out. And after just not starting so well, they could be pulling through here for the North American region.
I mean, we have it in the client right now. Noble Gabigol is not making it into day 2 after this dream start. This crushing loss against Ragnarok kicked them out of the tournament. The Infernoble Knight heroes have not made it in Cybercorp. We've only seen them on stream once in the first round, basically. Might have been the second round.
It was the second round where they
round versus
impressively
Snipe
enough
Hunters.
won 8-1 against Team Snipe Hunters. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Ok, parece que alguien estaba usando el Infernoble,
no, absolutely
pero
not.
no lograron
good for
ganar.
them. Great stuff. But
Eso fue
they
sin
are
Maitid, no, sin
definitely
Maitid.
now the second team in Group A.
The,
So we have Ragnarok and
the
Cybercorp.
team Sniper Hunters, the team that
Group B still
won
very
the
much
first Worlds,
anyone's game. We
lost
haven't decided
their
who will
duel.
advance quite yet.
But Fala Galera is making good
So it
work
seems
for
that
themselves,
they
and they're currently in
are
that
not
match
able to
between
go
them and
into
Team
day
Eviten
2.
with a 4-1 lead, and they're already in first place in the group, meaning it looks really likely that they're about to be entering top 4.
I'm
As
not
we
sure
said,
because
these
I
are all
didn't
new
see
top 4.
everything
Leo, who
before
was in top 4
this
3 years
last
ago, might be
match.
returning to that very glorious second day of the World Championship.
Yeah,
here.
and despite
yeah, that's
losing that
crazy.
opening round, they were able to bounce back again. Every round is a new set of games. They cannot tilt. They did not tilt.
Oh, no.
And instead, they've let the momentum of their victory carry them through. Now, actually, we do have Fala Galera just closing that one out against Mugati.
Oh, it is confirmed, therefore, Fala Galera joins the teams in top 4. And, I mean, they are in first place, meaning they will be facing Cybercorp in the top 4 match tomorrow in the semifinals.
And
Fala Galera,
both of
Cybercorp.
those teams have lost the first round of the tournament.
True.
So you don't
Those
actually
are
get
two
an
teams that
indication
are
who is
in
going
the
to make it to day two
second
if you're
day.
just looking at the first round
Yeah.
saying, okay, you know, Cybercorp went 1-8 in the first round.
Let me check
Surely they
the
will
other
recover
team.
from this.
Let me check if I can see that.
Soulform versus Brotdosa may very well have implications as to who will advance, though.
True, hold on. They can
That's
also
the
still make it to a
good
3-2 record. I mean, the first place for Fala Galera is sure because
Yeah.
there is no other team that is going to
That's
finish.
so dominant. 8-1, 8-1, 8-1.
Yes.
Really well played by Judeo, Gnet, and Paolo PRRJ. But Soulform versus Brotdosa could still very well affect whether Mugati or Brotdosa are the ones to advance alongside them.
And after the second set between those two teams, I can tell you, Brotos are currently doing their very best to make sure to be the team in top 4 as they're up 4-2, and they only need one more game to be taken to their side to possibly go into that desired top 4. But of course, we just had a very entertaining match to watch between Team Snipe Hunters and Team Alignments. And as Team Alignments was the team that came out on top, why don't we hear it in the analysis corner from the team captain of Team Alignments?
Yes, finalists, creo.
All right, we're here right after that heartbreaking last round there for Team Snipe Hunters. It was close there. They needed to not only just win, they really needed to dominate that round, and it was brutal from the beginning there.
Definitely, that was I guess not the fairy tale ending we were after. Like what we heard was like first Team 7 fell, and then Snipe Hunters needed like a lot of stars to.
No, unfortunately, I cannot
They
see.
needed,
I cannot find any
yeah, from my
live
understanding of the map,
report.
they needed clean sweep that, and they had a bit of a rough start. But Quantul was fighting like the whole time, keeping the dream alive. But as we could see, the hands just weren't working for Josh in any of the.
That's crazy because
Right,
Quantum
speaking
was
of
the
that,
one
let's go ahead and
that
bring up our first clip,
threw
where it's just going
their
to
duel
be,
last year.
Yeah, how Josh's first game started.
And
Like,
this
really,
year,
all
Quantum
three
was
games
the only
weren't
one
great.
being able
Easy,
to
he
actually
went first
win
and passed,
his
and just
duel.
really wasn't able to get anything going. But playing against an unexpected deck in tier elements.
I think he one of
Quantum was the one that
was also stopped by Ash Blossom. I
gave
think
them
I wasn't sure if
the
this game or the second game.
the
but it was also
qualification
been
for
frustrating
the
experience.
Yeah, and how this one ends
whole
up, like,
event,
he's a little bit
and
short
then
on
he was the
damage,
only
but
one
has that
actually
physical lack of
winning
to
his
clean up
duels.
there at the end. Yeah, it was a brutal start from the beginning for Josh and all of Team Snipe Hunters. But, you know, there was one, you know, saving grace for that first set, and that was Quantul. And if we go ahead and move to our second clip that we have, it's going to be Quantul, you know, trying to survive for his team. And he went second in the Mouse Mirror match, which is pretty usually favored for the player who goes first, right?
He definitely capitalized on that life point differential with his opponent only having 3,500 at the start of the turn. So his game plan wasn't necessarily to fight back and create his own
how
body,
much
which is like, I'm just going to
black
close
is
this game
to
out
the
cleanly
end.
as much as I can. You know, 3,500 is very achievable.
And they really needed this win to be like in contention because, you know, going down 0-3 from the first set, really tough to come back from. And Quantal, you know, held it down, trying to get that Cinderella story, keeping that opportunity alive to make the top two. And then if we move on to our third clip, excuse me, it's actually just the same kind of story. The two quick losses for Emery and Josh, because Josh once again went first, had to pass. Emery lost the die roll, and then Quantal had the Neptibus, which his first Neptibus gets stopped, but then he has a second Neptibus. We're about to see the first one going to the graveyard, and then the second Neptibus. This was an epic moment.
Definitely, Quantal just like navigating the deck so well. It was the deck that he qualified for Worlds with, so he definitely showed us like why he deserved a spot here, and he played through this Voiceless Voice, a deck that I think wasn't one that was on people's radars mostly.
Yeah, definitely. And like the targeting protection stuff, not like the worst matchup against Mermail as well. And usually you don't have multiple ways to access Neptibus as a Mermail player, but you know, Quantal did what he did, had the team on his back trying, because he lost that game, it was over. 5-0 or 5 wins for the other team would have ended up making them advance right there. So pushing things to a set 3 and giving them that opportunity to maybe hope on tiebreakers. But let's go ahead and go to the clip number 4. And once again, it's going to be Josh with not a good hand, having to normal summon the Fualos, send it for the breakout. And if this resolves, you know, he's not in bad shape, but unfortunately he's playing against the Labyrinth deck, and you know what happens next.
Yes, Labyrinth deck is a really, it's a high risk, it plays a lot of high risk cards. It's got Solemn Judge.
Something that I have noticed in Master Duels is that usually you get
Duster
like,
as well, which is also a card which is like terrific going first, and like if you see it going second,
maybe like
especially against a lot of decks,
5 or 10 good hands when you start a game, and then you have 5 or 10 bad hands when you start the game. Like whenever you enter rank,
unfortunately they
there
don't
are
point themselves to make it into the next
like,
round of the tournament.
But you got to respect the integrity. You want
how is
the
it
world
called?
championship.
Like
You gotta give it
strikes
your
of
all, even if
duels
you're not
that
gonna
you
the
have
opportunity to make top 4.
very
Like,
good hands
you don't
in,
get to come to the world
and
championship every
then
day.
you
You
have
wanna leave it all on the
another
line and do the
duels
best
that
that
you
you
have
possibly
like
Absolutely.
garbage
And then,
hands.
yeah, we do have one more clip of how the team alignment.
I don't know if you have noticed that.
Josh just setting max C every turn, not having anything going. Labyrinth not the fastest at putting damage on the field, but you know, if Lady stays on the field long enough, you're going to be able to set those trap cards. The big welcome Labyrinth is going to clean things up, getting lovely from the deck and being able to destroy the max C. Josh with only the 2,000 life points remaining is going to be able to finish up the duel, and Alignments is going to take down Team Snipe Hunters.
Yeah, and you can see the writings on the walls on their faces. They're
So sad.
Yeah,
I feel it's okay. You're still amazing. I promise.
yeah. But I'm pretty sure that the drive for them to redeem themselves, to show that
Está viendo los duelos del equipo de Snipe Hunter y está diciendo que pues, es bastante lastimoso, ¿no? Y penoso que perdían de esa forma. Ven sus caras ahí ya cuando están a punto de perder.
Yeah, there's always another tournament, more duels to be played. Never get too discouraged.
Y lo que estaba mencionando es que no sé si han notado que en Master Duel al menos tiene como ciertos patrones. Usualmente tienes como un hilito de duelos en los que vas teniendo buena mano. Unos entre 5 o 10 duelos en que tienes buenas manos. Y luego de ahí empiezas a tener exactamente lo opuesto. Una cadenita de duelos en los que tienes pésimas manos.
Throughout the tournament, they managed to claw their way in as well.
Wow, so this is final. These are the final. The top 2 teams are going to be Ragnarok and Chiba Corp coming out of Group 1. And then over here in Group 2, Fala Galera made it in first place after we saw them lose round number 1. They locked in and said, "We're not going to lose."
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yep, so
I don't know.
Decisively, look at the 3 sweeps they had. And then we've got Mugity. Do you want to speak more about that?
Mugity, yeah, so the last matchup in this round was Falaglara against Mugity, and the winner of this was going to lock in and guarantee their spot, but Falaglara took it down. But looks like their tiebreakers just weren't quite good enough, and the Bratos team was able to actually sneak in here at second place. So it's going to be Falaglara, Bratos up against Ragnarok and Chiba Corp, it's looking like.
Yeah, and like we said,
Ragnarok, Chiba Corp,
I mean, people love
Falaglara, and something else.
The third installment of the Snipe Hunters versus Team 7, but I think it's an equally compelling story to see four fresh teams up
the 2 past champions are not in the next day.
Have a new best of 3 to find out who's going to be the world champion. But
that's crazy,
man.
Man.
Tomorrow, who's going to be the Master Duel world champions, and also the TCG.
Like none of them were able to even pass day 1.
this is just the beginning of the 2025
That's
World
crazy.
Championship. It's been
Ninguno de los anteriores campeones fue capaz de pasar al siguiente día.
The story's only starting now.
No pasó como el año siguiente de que los archienemigos llegaron a la final y así. Y ni Team 7 ni Snipe Hunters fueron capaces de pasar al siguiente día a los cuartos de final. O más bien a las semifinales, perdón, a las semifinales.
And then in Group B, we had Fala Galera in first and Brotdos in second, which goes to...
Fala Galera, no entiendo el nombre que dicen Brotdos, algo así. Luego Chiva Corp y el otro.
That is true, and also additionally to that, we have a North American team and a Latin American team joining. So that
Fala Galera creo que es el del brasileño, ¿no? El de... ¿Cómo se llama este? El que está en los torneos de Decade a veces. Es como Jaden o como Yusei, su nombre es algo similar a eso. Have you seen a player that sometimes play in the Decade tournament and his name is something like Jaden, something like Yusei? He's from Brazil. I think he's in the team Fala Galera.
The reigning world champions with Team 7 have been eliminated. Time for new names. Time to make some new history here in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and that is going to be one of those 4 teams.
I think 90% of people's
Entonces, los equipos son Ragnarok,
predictions have been
Chiva Corp,
annihilated between
Brotdos y Fala Galera. Son los 4 equipos para el siguiente. Para mañana.
Let's see how that one is turning out.
Maybe mine is still in as well. Those were absolutely phenomenal results. And as you said, Basti, maybe it is time for new champions here. And also, you were right about one other thing. It was definitely, it's so...
Team 7 quedó en quinto lugar de su equipo, de su grupo. Y los Snipe Hunter también en quinto, quedaron casi al último. Tuvieron un muy mal desempeño. If you see the chart, both Snipe Hunters and Team 7, the teams from Josh and Jesse Cotton, are both in 5th place. So both of them have had a really bad time. A really bad
just going around right now.
like matches.
For some, celebrations for others, surprise probably for quite a few of them as
That's
well.
crazy,
but
man.
in the end, these are the best Master Duel.
Like they almost
They played their
went
best.
like
They
last
did
place
their best, but the tournament has only just begun.
from
For
their
4
respective
of
groups.
these teams, they will aim for that first
Like
place.
both
here in
champions
Paris. They will
almost
aim
went
to
last
make it.
place.
Yep,
this time.
definitely. And there are still so
Crazy.
many big names in that Chiva Corp. Ragnarok, Fala Galera, and Brotdose are still in the running.
Is on point compared
Of course.
to ours.
Déjenme revisar si Fala Galera es el equipo donde está el jugador que les digo.
Fala Galera means what happens in
Fala Galera,
Yeah,
Master
so
Duel.
very cool. What's up? All right, okay.
What's
so
up, guys? I think
absolute vibes here. We've been saying they're here for the vibes, but they are here for absolute destruction with the 4-1 sweep through the group almost. Such a dominant display of skills.
So we have semi-finals awaiting all 4 of these teams, but we have something else for you at home. We have a code that you can redeem within the Master Duel client. Why don't we bring that up now? So, by going to the home sub-menu, then to the
¿Cómo
code
se llama? Es lo que estoy intentando recordar. A ver, creo que aquí están los nombres. Aquí está. Fala Galera, Jude, Yuko. Sí, sí es él. Sí es él. Es Jude, Paulo y el otro no sé qué onda.
But you typed in the wrong code.
Gabriel no sé qué.
That was the
I was
mistake.
going by memory, to be fair.
It will be really interesting if the team from Latin America won this.
For sure. I mean,
This
I hope
time.
Gianfranco recovers. And also, in total, the team of Noble Gabigol, they were cruising with that Frio
Phenomenally
start.
well.
Still, absolutely amazing.
Será bastante interesante si este año ganan los del equipo latinoamericano.
They had to give up that second place to Team Chiba.
But they are the winners of our hearts now, right? I want to give them a big hug after this because this was so close. What a strong start in this supposed super group full of powerhouses of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then they just went through it 3-0, and then in the end came Ragnarok. And if they just went 2-7, they would have been fine, right?
As it turns out,
3-6.
2 super groups. We had 2 really stacked lineups of teams. And just to go through all of the teams that were competing here today, we had Team 7, we had Dreams, Future, Noble, Gabigol, Ragnarok, Brot Dosa, Snipe Hunters, Chiba Corp, Thala Galera, Alignments, FCG, Soulform, and Mugity.
Yeah, and out of 12, we only make 4 tomorrow when we come back. First starting.
I want to check the Falagalera duel.
Obviously only being left.
Let me check.
His turn. It's his game to
This
close
is
down.
Ragnarok.
Again,
This is one of the
Ragnarok,
teams
they
that
need
qualified for
all
the
three.
second
They need
day.
to get victory.
Nes is playing in the team Ragnarok. That's nice. Nes is one of the players that sometimes appears in the Team Samurai channel. Hello, Diamond Boss. Welcome to the stream. How is it going, man? How's your day?
Field and Sage is a normal summon here as well, already having the True Light.
We had really crazy duels, like
here in this matchup.
both champions from the last couple of years didn't make it for the second day.
Again, all of these cards in banishment is crazy. But can you still extend from this?
So Mist is one of the players that usually plays in the Decade tournament. Nesh is one of the players that usually appears in the Team X Samurai channel. And we have also Yudei Yugo from Team Falagalera that also usually appears in the Decade tournament. This was it as well, yes.
Very nice.
So I'm very interested in seeing the winner tomorrow.
You the utility to destroy a monster on the opposing side. True Light, of course, can immediately just get you back a blue-eyed white dragon. You could destroy the Chaos Hunter, and I think that's a pretty fast way to close out the game.
Yes, indeed it would be. Can we get any extra damage, though, to tide this one over into that 8,000 territory?
The only problem is that the event starts like very early for me, like 3 a.m. or something like that. In World Champs, yeah, kind of interesting, yeah.
Go ahead and fusion summon or equip a fusion monster to the blue eyes as we just did there, and Luca has to give another turn here to Tasco.
That's so cool. Tasco is the one that only that every Discord stays like at the top, right? So they didn't make it either.
Crucially, regardless of anything
Tasco
in these
team.
2 duels, the team captain did win here. Mist was able to...
This waltz is very interesting because like it changes everything.
Of that tiebreaker is
We don't have
more and more
Snipe Hunters, nor Team 7, nor Tasco team for day 2.
He has been waiting for it, but there is the answer from Luca. There is Matnotronus. That card is really
Like
putting in
those
the work
that
here in this tournament. It is
were
being
like
played
probably
so many different decks.
the
It just makes sense as it is definitely up there.
the ones that people thought that were going to win
When you're playing into Melos, when you're playing into Ryzeal, and as these are the 2
are not
most
in
represented decks,
the
it only makes sense that this
next
card
phase.
also is very well represented.
Nesh getting another turn here, though. The Blue Eyes deck, as we said, can be quite slow when it comes to ramping up. It's good, it's formidable once it's able to set up, and it will be quietly consistent here. But there is Meows, the card you are asking for all tournament long. Hasn't really made an impact so far, and won't do so in this game either.
I am not too sure. There's double Meows here, and it is chained to True Light of summoning back a Blue Eyes White Dragon. So this is going to be through 2 fresh new cards. However, it's going to be so tough to out this field. There is still the Spirit. There is Baron de Fleur. There is, of course, also after the Blue Eyes gets back onto the field, there is going to be the Primite Drill Beam. So Maxi is being chained here just so that there is no answer to it be found by Nash with these 2 Meows draws. And I think that even if they made it really, really close, Dream's future is looking splendid here.
I gotta agree. Blue Eyes White Dragon once more. The animation is on the field, and Nash basically with a pot of greed movement there, drawing the top 2 cards from his deck. But can they help him? Fiends of Engraver is a card to draw. Not gonna lie, that can help.
Yep, that is a 1-card starter for him. Of course, you'd have to consider that Baron still has the negate live, and you have the Primite Drill Beam set there as well.
And I will say that the Spirit Dragon has a on-field effect that sometimes is really relevant by negating.
Are you going to stream it tomorrow?
It's not relevant. And
Maybe we could do like a call, like a group call.
To activate it. It is going to be crucial here. So that's not really an option for Nash. Has to go for a rather weak.
If you want to Gamer Zero,
from hand, normal summon,
now like we three could
just activate Baron, or I think this is a
just like watch the event, talk about it.
But that was not the decision from Freedom. Freedom lets it go through.
And
lets him send
that would be cool.
another card to the graveyard, and we are continuing to link summon. The Link 1, that is Fiends from Requiem coming onto the table here. The digital table that we have here at the World Championship. First Maxi draw there also for Freedom.
This card has caused so much chaos in the TCG. The Fiendsmith engine.
You can do that. Yeah.
Many different decks, and it's still going ever since it came out in the TCG in the Infinite Forbidden. In Dual C, we are seeing Luca going for the final blow here.
What time is tomorrow?
With
Let me check.
Winning another game. So we're currently tied at 4-4. Nash is really doing his best to get the 5-4 win there, to go to day 2, getting closer to it. But now we have 2 Engravers on the field, and now the Majesty is being...
I don't think so. I'm not such a fan of
destroying
Exodia.
Engraver is good in the graveyard, but not if you've already used
like
it.
I used like 20,000 gems from the Man's deck. Now I think I'm going to be using the next gems for the White Forest sport.
Future here as they look to claim victory against one of the top teams in their group. Suddenly, Group A looks very much like it could be anyone's all over again.
Back to 2-2 here after the next battle phase. I can't assume that you're going to go for many plays.
Why did I choose Breaker? It would have been better the Exodia head, no?
Of destruction. Main phase 1, come on, give it to us. Everyone is
Baron,
waiting for it.
Baron attack.
Oh, Blue Eyes White Dragon, come attack, Blue Eyes.
Yes.
Nice.
That would be cool.
First stream of destruction, let's go!
That's what we needed. That's what everyone needs in their life, and that's how this match is done.
And that's what Dream's future needed to take down Ragnarok there. It is not the end of days for Ragnarok, however, though, as they are still very much in this tournament. Thank you for looking at me with pride then.
It was a really good one, the Ragnarok one. But also, that's what Dream's future are made of, right? This is what a comp. That is actually a dream if you're starting 0-2 and then you're climbing your way back. But I have to say, as much as I don't like to say it, it's looking like basically everyone in this group is going to be at 3-2 in the end.
Right?
And if you're starting 0-2 and then you're getting like 5-4 wins, it's going to be super tough
the
to
tiebreakers are a little scary.
It does look pretty scary. Someone that can best case scenario also only reach a 3-2 score now at this point is Team 7, the reigning world champions in Group B. They have
Like I get that Breaker is a Yugi card, but that would be better for like a Dark Magician bottle or something like that.
Dream's future winning there, of course, Tasku, Mr. Master Duel himself, and his 2 very formidable teammates. We said they struggled a bit because they had to integrate Stellar into the lineup on very
Rabbit.
Yuki qualified for the World Championship by himself, but they've done phenomenally, and it was Freedom that managed to pull this team over the finish line here.
I was wishing for Blue Eyes, and I'm glad finally Freedom was delivering the freedom to the Blue Eyes White Dragon there.
Let me check. So we saw this.
So, I mean, this
This as the anti-malice
upside down before it find the perfect way to combo. We just have
Then
to find a way to 8,000 points of
this
damage because there was a quick pass.
one.
We didn't really catch.
Honestly, between that, the Goblin Bike attack, I'm really seeing a lot of
Innovation, memento,
with
right?
the memento.
We are searching for rising cards here on movies. And the reason we
Snap
failed to
Hunters,
end the
Chaiba
duel already,
Corp.
because I think in his calculations,
That's a field
he
spell.
disregarded that.
Pack is in Chaiba Corp.
Disregarded that and was not able to close out the
We have
9,000
a lot
points.
of crazy things in day
Now
two.
there's a chicken game followed
So
by
Pack,
another chicken game.
again, a player from Team Samurai channel, is in Chaiba Corp. Then Ness, also from Team Samurai channel, is in Ragnarok. And then Faragalera has Judei Yugo from DK tournaments. Mist is also there from those tournaments too.
Between these two. All right, turn over to bluffing with him.
Maybe could have done.
Yes, yeah. This is crazy, man. It's a very interesting world. Faragalera, Team 7.
About the card that he just drew, that does not look like a winner's face. Ends
Oh,
the
he's
turn immediately.
passing.
Does he at least have something to play with? Ryan is already celebrating this one here. Meanwhile, Gabriel Nets is just comboing away from him. While Ryan goes, "Hey, I won 2 games, so I think I'm fine. I did the job here." Gabriel would be 3 for 3 and then still
Yes.
loses
Appaloosa Bow the Goddess ready
crazy.
to run disruption on anything that Ryan may have, but right now just looking pretty good for now. That dual
This guy.
is gonna be the deciding factor here. Is there a draw off the top of the deck that could save Paolo PROJ here? As we have another Malice starter. There's no kind of stopping this.
Judeo and Mist are the goats. Yeah.
They feel safe, but we
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the multiple Cybers monsters that are being summoned onto the field on duel. Monsters that are being summoned onto the field on duel. See the Malice monsters on their own when they're boosted by the Dormouse effect are already quite big. So I think we do not need much more here even to close it out in the favor of Team 7.
They were so close. Fala Galera, they almost had it. They almost took down your reigning world champions. But you're seeing exactly why this team is so clutch. We said Ray so far, not the greatest of tournaments, but he's gonna be the one to carry them over the finish line if this Malice deck has anything to say about it.
Hard Crypta attacking, and we see on both tables people are attacking for game here. Hard Crypta banishing itself. 5,000 damage from the Tekutlika, but you know what has more than 5,000? Oh, GWC was activated. Hard Crypta for the map.
The turn where Ray finally got to go off, and therefore Team 7 starts into the tournament as the winner of the first round.
All the way to the limit by Fala Galera. Really
They just
well
proved
played
that
by
energy
Galera,
is
but
myself.
ultimately it was the
Let's go to
clutch
yeah, man.
consistency and
We were talking about that
absolute powerhouse that is
a few moments ago,
taking that one.
like Zero and me.
Through after, right? You saw
It's so crazy
right
that
away,
RNG
they are doing the foul
plays
play, they did it
such a big
together
part
as
in
a
the
team,
tools.
and I think you really could tell
Like
there
for
was
example, Tasku, that is number 1 in every DC Cup,
really Ryan being a team
like
captain,
didn't make it
were
for
your
day
world
2 either.
champions, jumping left and right, coaching his both teammates and making it happen in the end.
But I also want to say one thing. We have seen that they are beatable because
And both the champions from last years, both of them went 5th place in their respective
It's a bit of a fun
groups.
story actually with GNats. If you see his Master Duel account, I think he's in the rookie rank right now, but he's very much on the biggest stage of the World Championship, performing like an absolute
That's so
Master
messed up.
Yeah, fantastic performance from them individually.
That's so
And,
messed
you know,
up.
thinking about how some of these players that did maybe struggle, have to shake that off and then get back into it. So far, Judeo not managing to find a way.
Well,
to that, favorite.
I'm gonna check the time for tomorrow, and it will be very nice if we can do the call
And the Sprite win
for the
comes in
finals.
3
That will be very nice.
Exactly. I think that was my favorite.
So I will be sending you an inbox like in no time. And I think that will be it for this stream. Voy a ver si puedo hacer una llamada con Diamond y con Gamer Zero para el stream de mañana. Para entre nosotros estar comentando lo que veamos. Let's say the energy is unpredictable. No matter how much you play. Yeah. Entonces, y si lo podemos hacer, va a estar algo padre. Igual nos pueden ver mañana. A los tres que estamos aquí hablando. Diamond Boss tiene un canal también en YouTube donde se especializa en el deck Marinces, por si lo quieren checar. Hace streams una vez o 2 veces por semana. Gamer Zero también tiene un canal donde hace streams. Últimamente ya no hace tantos streams de Master Duel, pero hace streams de otros juegos. Por si lo quieren checar. Y vamos a ver si podemos hacer nuestro propio comentario el día de mañana para las finales. Si no es por el momento, muchísimas gracias a todos los que se pasaron por el stream, por el canal. Se pueden suscribir para ver más cuestiones tanto de Master Duel como de otros juegos. Y otras cosillas también aquí en el canal. Y nos estaremos viendo para las finales mañana. Thank you very much, Diamond, and thank you very much, Zero. I'm going to text that. We can do the call for tomorrow. And thank you very much for being here. Have a great night, day, evening. I don't know. Que tengan un gran día, tarde, noche, madrugada, sea lo que sea, donde sea, y con bien esto. Nos vemos en la siguiente.